He is the reigning NABF and WBO Intercontinental Featherweight Champion from Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York, Bruce Shu Shu Carrington.
Knockdown scored! My oh my Shu Shu! Hometown hero! Knockout scored! Devastating power!
Moving to the ropes, and now Carrington has him cornered. Jumps out and down it goes again.
Bruce Carrington, nicknamed Shu Shu. He enters the spotlight with an unbeaten professional record of 17-0, including 10 knockouts, showcasing a sharp blend of speed, precision, and finishing power that has made him one of the most dangerous young contenders in the sport.
Sticking him on the outside, and here comes the counter.
What a left hook!
And down goes el alacrancito.
Many fans and analysts are beginning to see Carrington as a serious future threat to elite champions like Gervonta Davis. With his undefeated momentum and rising confidence, some even believe he has the tools to test and potentially hand Davis the first loss of his professional career.
Fight just a matter of time. Shu Shu is slowly walking down, breaking down Brown.
And there it is, a left hook, a double uppercut. The legs are bent and down.
As Carrington continues his climb through the ranks, the boxing world watches closely, wondering if Shu Shu is not just a prospect, but a future force capable of shaking up the entire lightweight division.
Nice jab, that left hook, and Sanchez is in trouble.
Today we are breaking this down completely, fighting styles, knockout records, career trajectories, and whether Bruce Carrington is not just the next challenger for Tank, but potentially the man to hand Davis the first loss of his professional career.
There's a right hand as he followed Shu Shu straight back.
If you haven't been paying attention to Bruce Carrington, you are already behind. Born and raised in Brownsville, Brooklyn, one of the toughest neighborhoods in New York City, Carrington carries that Dina in every single punch he throws. He wears Brownsville on his trunks. He carries that neighborhood on his back every time he steps into the ring.
Him up. He's letting him work, now using the jab, sticking him on the outside, and here comes the counter.
What a left hook! The leg is...
In 17 professional fights, Carrington has gone unbeaten. 10 of those wins have come by way of stoppage, which tells you this is not a fighter who is simply boxing his way to points decisions. Shu Shu has real dynamite in his hands. He has a 72-inch reach, remarkable for a featherweight, giving him extraordinary range and the ability to land shots before his opponents even realize they are in danger.
He showed flashes of power in those middle rounds. There's a right hand.
What separates Carrington from other young prospects, though, is his IQ. Commentators have compared his tactical brain to a quarterback with the mind of Tom Brady. Every punch he throws has a purpose. Every movement in the ring is calculated. He is a technical marvel who also happens to carry power, a rare and frightening combination.
Down, break it down, Brown.
And there it is, a left hook, a double uppercut. The legs are bent and down goes Brown.
His fights against Stephen Brown, Yuri Andahar, Brandon Chambers, and Peroso have showcased every weapon in the arsenal. The jab that sets everything up, the right hand over the top, the left hook to the body, the uppercut up the middle, and vicious combination, punching on the inside. He can fight from a distance. He can dominate in the pocket. He is complete.
Trancito.
Now let's talk about Gervonta Davis. Tank is arguably the most dangerous fighter pound for pound on the planet right now. 30 fights, 30 wins, 28 knockouts. That knockout ratio, over 93%, is the stuff of nightmares. Davis has never been past the 12th round because he rarely needs to go that far. When Tank lands, people fall. Full stop.
If Davis stops, Santa Cruz is going to fall from it.
Davis is a southpaw with elite head movement, short compact power, and a left hand that has ended the nights of everyone who has stepped in front of it. He fights behind a tight guard, slips punches beautifully, and walks opponents into counters they never see coming. His boxing IQ is exceptional. He is not just a big puncher, he is a big puncher who knows exactly when and how to pull the trigger. victories over Rolly Romero, Mario Barrios, Ryan Garcia, and Hector Luis Garcia have cemented his status as the most exciting fighter in the sport today. The Garcia knockout in particular, a left hook to the body, was one of the greatest stoppages in recent boxing memory. Tank doesn't just win fights, Tank makes statements. But here's what every serious boxing fan has been asking for the last 2 years. Who on earth can actually beat Gervonta Davis? Who has the tools to solve the Tank puzzle? And the answer increasingly points to one man. Here is what makes Bruce Carrington uniquely dangerous for Gervonta Davis, and why this is not a hype job. This is a real tactical analysis. First, reach. Carrington has a 72-inch reach. Davis has 65.5 inches. That is a 6.5-inch disadvantage for Tank. And against a fighter with the jab and the movement of Shu Shu, that gap matters enormously. Carrington can control the distance of the fight in a way that many of Davis's previous opponents simply could not. He can land and be gone before Tank can set up his counters. Second, the counter-punching game. Davis thrives when opponents come forward predictably. He waits, times the shot, and delivers devastation. But Carrington is himself a vicious counter-puncher. He does not walk forward recklessly. He invites, he reacts, he punishes. This creates a matchup where Davis cannot simply sit and wait. He would need to take risks to engage, and every risk against Carrington comes with consequences. Third, body work. The transcript from Carrington's fights is filled with references to his body shots, the same body shots that set up his right hook and left hook combinations. Gervonta Davis has never truly been tested on the body at the world-class level. A fighter who systematically attacks the body, breaks down the legs, and then opens up upstairs? That is a formula built to dismantle Tank Davis. Fourth, youth and growth. Carrington is still developing. Analysts who have watched him closely note that his punch will get stronger, his accuracy sharper, and his knockout power more devastating with every camp and every fight. Tank, at this stage of his career, is at his peak. The trajectory lines cross, and they cross in Carrington's favor. But before we get to Tank, there is another name that keeps coming up in Carrington's orbit. Shakur Stevenson. Shakur is a former 2-division world champion, an Olympic silver medalist, and one of the most technically gifted fighters of his generation. A fight between Carrington and Stevenson would be must-watch television. Could Carrington beat Shakur? Absolutely. In fact, a matchup with Stevenson may come sooner than the Davis fight, and winning it would catapult Shu Shu into a completely different stratosphere. Stevenson is elusive, but Carrington has shown the patience and the IQ to break down every style thrown at him. If Carrington solves Shakur, the Davis fight becomes not just a possibility, but an obligation for boxing. So here is where we land. Is Bruce Shu Shu Carrington the man to hand Gervonta Davis the first loss of his professional career? We believe the answer is yes, and here is why. Carrington's combination of reach, ring IQ, counter-punching ability, bodywork, and rapidly developing power gives him every tool needed to neutralize what makes Tank so dangerous. This is not a fighter who will be intimidated by the Davis aura. Brownsville does not produce men who are easily rattled. Shu Shu has been on the same cards as Shakur Stevenson, Jared Anderson, and the best young fighters in the sport. The stage has never been too big for him. When this fight happens, and boxing fans should demand it happens, do not be surprised if the man from Brownsville, Brooklyn, walks out of that arena with his unbeaten record intact, with a new belt around his waist, and with Gervonta Davis looking up at the lights for the very first time. Bruce Carrington is not the future of boxing. He is the present, and Tank Davis should be very, very aware. If you want to see Carrington versus Davis become a reality, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop your prediction in the comments below. Who wins, Tank or Shu Shu? Let's talk about it.
And it almost, oh, there's a left hook. Oh, my God! And down goes Paul!
6, 7, 8, 9.
He knocked out Jake Paul.
And it's Shu who wants to badly hurt. He's up. Joshua can destroy.
knocked out Francis Ngannou. He's 29 wins, 4 losses, 26 knockouts, and now Tyson Fury just called him out. Is Fury about to make the biggest mistake of his entire career?
I want you, AJ, Anthony Joshua. Let's give the fight fans what they want. The Battle of Britain. And here's my challenge. I challenge you, Anthony Joshua, to fight me, the Gypsy King, next!
We are talking about the fight that boxing fans have been begging for almost a decade. Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. Signed, sealed, delivered. It is happening in 2026. And I need you to stay with me until the end of this video, because by the time we're done,
when I arrive at Undisputed, I'm going to arrive like a king.
They're just keeping that money train going.
It's not over for it, Anthony.
Best is still to come.
Anthony Joshua lied to us.
How could you criticize AJ now? He's on the best run of his career.
This is a completely different fight.
There isn't anyone I know that's more dedicated to the sport than him.
You'd only give up when that competition within yourself dies.
Get ready for the return of Anthony Joshua.
you are going to understand exactly why Anthony Joshua is walking into this fight as a monster with one of the most legendary knockout powers in heavyweight history. Let's get into it. Before we get into this fight, let's talk about who Anthony Joshua really is, because a lot of people forget.
You're acting like some good behaving punk. Be yourself, man. What's wrong with you? You're getting hurt December, I'm telling you now. I'm gonna mess you up.
You're lucky to be on my undercard. Just focus on
Man try to say he's better than AJ. Tell my man shut up. Man's been dealing like...
Born in Watford, England. Picked up boxing at 18 years old. 18. Most guys start at 8, 9, 10 years old. I started at 18. And within just 4 years, he was standing on the Olympic stage in London 2012, winning gold for Great Britain. That is not normal. That is not human. That is something else.
It's probably the fact that I'm scared to fail.
The man known as AJ, Anthony Joshua! Down he goes. Surely no way up here.
He turned professional and did not walk. He sprinted through the heavyweight division. 29 fights, 26 knockouts. We are talking about a knockout rate of nearly 90%. That means almost every single man who has stepped in the ring with Anthony Joshua has been sent to the canvas.
I've always said AJ's built to measure for me. And just because he knocked out that guy with a right hand, it's not the same.
His record? 29 wins, 4 losses. And those losses? Alexander Usyk twice. The man who is arguably the best pound-for-pound boxer on the planet right now. And Daniel Dubois. Those losses do not embarrass Aj. They tell you he was fighting the absolute elite of heavyweight boxing. But his wins? That is where the story gets insane. Let's talk about the thing that makes Anthony Joshua genuinely terrifying. His knockout power.
Right hand, he shakes his head as if to say, you're not landing that one again.
But here he comes. That's it right hand from Vladimir Klitschko. And Joshua is down now. The count's at 5. Will he make it up? It was a heavier fall than Klitschko's. And there's 1:40 left in the set. One knockdown apiece. But it is now Vladimir Klitschko.
This man knocked out Vladimir Klitschko, a former unified heavyweight world champion, at Wembley Stadium in front of 90,000 people. 90,000. He stopped Charles Martin for the IF title. He stopped Joseph Parker. He stopped Alexander Povetkin. These are not cans. These are top-level heavyweight fighters, and Och put them all to sleep.
And it almost... Oh, there's a left hook. Oh, and down goes Paul!
6, 7, 8, 9.
And then, more recently, he knocked out Jake Paul. Now, I know what you're thinking. Jake Paul is not a boxer. But here's what you need to understand. Och did not just beat Jake Paul. He broke him, broke his jaw, sent a message to the entire world that the power is still there. The hands are still deadly.
It's John who wants to badly hurt. He's up. Joshua can dispose of the MMA champion. It
Francis Ngannou, a former UFC heavyweight champion, a man who knocked out Cyril Gane, who knocked out Stipe Miocic, a man built like a Greek god. Och walked through him like he was nothing. Tony Bellew, a former world champion himself, said it best, and I quote, "Joshua has the capability of knocking anybody out." Anybody. That includes Tyson Fury.
It's war.
I punched you up when we were kids. I'll punch you up again.
I want to give you the fight you've all been waiting for.
You big dosser. I'm going to smash your face in.
Contracts were signed. Oh my God, here we go. We're going to get it. Fight that people have been after for 5, 6, 7 years. My eyes just lit up. I was like, wow.
You big dosser! You big dosser!
This guy is a monster. He knocks out Tyson Fury. It's not even questionable.
He's in with a proper fighter.
Irish traveler, true history.
Tyson will knock him out. I know he'll knock him out.
Go Tyson Fury!
Even Usyk, the man who beat Joshua twice, is now in Joshua's corner. And Usyk told the world Achi beats Fury. When the man who beat you twice is saying you're going to win, that tells you something. Now let's break down how Anthony Joshua actually operates inside that ring, because his style is what makes him so dangerous for Fury specifically. Aj is a pressure fighter with technical discipline. He is 6'6", 240 plus pounds, but he moves with the grace of a middleweight. He uses his jab to measure distance, sets up the right hand, and then, boom, one punch. That's all it takes. His straight right hand is one of the most dangerous punches in the history of the heavyweight division. He generates power from his legs, rotating his hips fully, and when that lands clean, there is no human being on earth who walks it off easily. He also throws combinations beautifully. Jab right hand, jab jab right hand. Left hook to the body, right hand upstairs. He's not just a one-trick pony, he's a technically skilled fighter who also happens to hit like a freight train. And here's the thing about Fury that makes this matchup so fascinating. Fury has been hurt before. Deontay Wilder dropped him. Otto Wallen cut him badly. And more importantly, Daniel Dubois hit him hard in their fights. Now Fury wants to come in and laugh and dance and use his movements. But can you dance for 12 rounds when a man with a J's power is hunting you? History says no. I want to take a moment to tell you what the experts are saying, because the boxing world is buzzing about this fight. Tony Bellew? Predicting a knockout. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, that this fight is not going the distance. He is committed to that. A man who has been in the ring at the highest level, who knows what it feels like to get hit by elite heavyweights. He is saying Joshua stops Fury. Eddie Hearn, Ajay's promoter, called this the biggest piece of business we have ever done. This is the man who has been in boxing for decades, and this is the biggest deal of his career. And even Fury, in a moment of honesty, admitted that if this fight does not happen, he is done. He said it is either Joshua or I am gone again. Think about that. Tyson Fury, the self-proclaimed Gypsy King, one of the greatest heavyweights of his generation, is saying Aj is the only fight worth having. That is respect, whether he admits it or not. And here is what makes Aj truly a monster. It is not just the physical gifts, it is the mentality. This man went through devastating knockouts, was counted out by people who said he was done. Credit. But here is the problem. Aj just has to land one. That is it. One clean right hand, one left hook, and this fight is over. And with Joshua's activity, with his jab setting everything up, that one punch is coming. Fury's chin has been questioned. He went down against Wilder. He got seriously rocked against Wallen. And now he is facing a man who hits harder than both of them combined. My prediction? Anthony Joshua by knockout, somewhere between rounds 6 and 10. Fury will survive the early rounds using his movement and experience. But as the fight goes on, age will find him. And when he does, lights out. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. It helps this channel more than you know. Subscribe if you are new. We drop boxing content every week. And I will see you in the next one.
The monster. Japanese fighter called Monster.
Against Russia.